So yesterday we introduced proportions. Don't be intimidated by that word. Proportions just means two equal fractions. Because what word means two equal fractions? Say it again. What word means two equal fractions? Proportions. Is this. Yesterday I said, don't worry about this. We'll get into it tomorrow. I said tomorrow. As far as writing down the definition, honestly, just put down the formula. Right here, to find the geometric mean, you always use this formula right here. The proportion A over X equals X over B. So get in your notes because you're going to use it lots. Lots on the examples, lots on the assignment. Okay, and then the rest, when I look at definitions like that, it's like mumbo jumbo. I have a way hard time understanding those. So I put in examples, and I hope that I can teach this to you, make you understand just through an example. So what's going to happen, geometric mean, the variable is always X. X always needs to be in a spot where it's the denominator and the numerator in the other one. They just need to be across from each other. And then A and B are the other two numbers. It doesn't matter which one you use for A and which one you use for B. So right here, let's use 2 as letter A and 72 as letter B. So our geometric mean setup will be 2 over X equals X over 72. Now this is how we solved them yesterday, but real quick, check it. If I had used A as 72 and B as 2, they'd still be in these spots and you'd still be multiplying them. That's why it doesn't matter which one is A and which one is B. Okay, so grab a calculator. 2 times 72. If you don't have a calculator, you'll absolutely need one today, so come get one. Okay, I'm pretty sure this is a friendly geometric mean. What's 2 times 72, guys? What is it? Okay, 144. Now watch. This is something I see on these problems. So we've got cross multiplying. 2 times 72 is 72. The other side, be careful with this. Guys, is X times X 2X? It's X to the second power. Way to catch on to that. I see 2X, but it's not. X times X is X to the second power. So how do you get rid of a squared? How do you get rid of a second power? Yeah, good work. Square root that. You can do this one in your head, hopefully. Square root means what times itself equals 144. What is it? Yay, it's 12. It's a perfect square. So the geometric mean of 2 and 72 is 12. They're not always super nice like that. That's why we've got our calculator. So let's do the next one. Will you try to do the setup first before I show you on the board? So try this one on your own. Sneak it in on that vocab. Alright, my question for you. Did it come out as a whole number or a decimal? Decimal. Decimal. So I'm just going to put 5 over X equals X over 6. Looks like we'll have X squared equals 30. Because I don't know if you remember, it was the very first week of geometry class and I had you guys practice estimating square roots. So estimating square roots, I know that's between perfect squares, 25 and 36. So it's got to be 5 point something. What is it now? 5.47. So can I just put 5.5? Yeah. How many of you, I got that or something close to it? Okay, geometric mean, how many of you, now that I've seen it, that makes sense? Let me tell you a true story. So my it must have been first year of teaching geometry, I asked the other geometry teacher, I said, hey, geometric mean, are we supposed to teach that? Because I didn't see it until college. She's like, no, don't worry about it. It never comes up on the CRT. Well, guess what was on the CRT that year? Geometric mean, I felt terrible. Because if you just had a question, it literally looks like number 1 and number 2, would you have any idea what to do? No, right? It's just that one formula. Remind yourself, X is in the denominator, X is in the numerator, that's it. Okay, moving along. Okay, we've got these properties. These definitely come up on your assignment, so make sure you get this down and we'll talk about it. Okay, first property is saying you can redo the order. So it was A over B equals C over D. You can switch it around and put this one over this one as long as you put this one over this one. Okay, if you're looking at that and it's variables and it's hard to understand, here's how I always check myself on these ones. I look at what's getting and see if it's the same. A times D and B times C. So AD equals BC. Because will this come out with the same outcome? Check it. Cross multiply. Cross multiply. Is it the same? Yeah. there's one way to check. Check what's getting cross multiplied, see if it's the same. Okay, the next one is a little bit of a stretch. Definitely get this down in your notebooks. Okay, this one starts as the other one started. A over B equals C over D. This one. You can add the numerator. You can add the denominator to the numerator as long as on the other side you do the exact same thing. The denominator gets added to the numerator. Weird, right? But it always works. So be careful with that one. Do you have it in your notes? Because you can come back and check this one. I swear the next problem checks this. Okay, let me show you. Yes. Okay, so this is just a true or false. So if we start with v over 5 equals w over 9, can we say this? V plus 5 over 5, stop. This is the one we just barely talked about. Look, they took the denominator and they're adding it to the numerator, right? Check. It's like the one we just did. But look at this side. W plus 5 over 9. Wait. Make sure I do this right. Didn't it have to be the same denominator? This denominator got into that numerator. Let me make sure. Yeah, it had to be this one. Guess one. No way. That was kind of tricky. If it's a W plus 9 over 9, we could say true. It followed that property we just already talked about. Okay. Next. These ones, I love these ones because I feel like it's a question where it's a giveaway. They give us way too much information. But it's great for us. They tell us the setup. So they give us a picture and they tell us the proportion. So right here, guys, nice and loud. Instead of HJ, look at your picture. What is HJ? What's its value? Perfect. So let's put 6 over. Okay, JL, look at your picture. What's JL's value? Perfect. Equals, come back. GK, what is it? Yep. And then KL? There you go. Now all we have to do is solve it. So they literally tell us what to do. We just have to take out those and put in the values. Maybe you can do this in your head. Guys, what's 10 times 6? 60. But do you know what 60 divided by 12 is? Perfect. I'm impressed. Okay. It's kind of crazy. But I'm literally teaching my other classes, my 7th grade classes, about proportions, and they would have done this in their head. Because they're like logical beasts. They just like to look at stuff and figure it out without writing it down, which is understandable. So they would have seen this and gone, look, from 6 to 12, what do you times by? 2. So they would have been like, something times 2 equals 10. What's that something? So you can look at these. If it's simple like that, go for it. I'm okay with that, if you notice. Okay, next one. This one, we have to do our own setup, but with the picture, it's super nice. This one, I think it might come out as geometric mean. Oh, it says it in the problem. So always compare a side to a side. So bottom of the building is 105. What's the bottom of the other building? X. So we'll have 105 over X equals, come back to the original. We've got X over what? There you go. There's your setup. Probably want your calculator. Try it on your own. Okay, I want to break this into pieces. So X times X is X to the 2nd power. Can I get a hand there? Help me out. What's 105 times 210? It's probably big, but what is it? Taya, what is it? 22,050? Yeah, like that? Okay, so then we square root it. Ooh. Does it come out as a whole number? No? Okay, so take the square root of 22,050. You know what? Let me try. Oh, I see it. 2205 square root. Did you guys get that? About 148.5? Okay, good. About 148.5. Don't forget the units. Put in meters, and that's a perfect answer. Curious, how many of you got that? Geometric mean calendar? Perfect, perfect. All right. Okay, this one. This is just a true or false. Can I give you a hint? Check cross multiplication, that's it. Just check what's getting cross multiplied and see if they're the same thing. So right here we'll have 11m equals 7n when you cross multiply. Other side, same thing, 11m, 7n. True. How are you feeling about those ones? Thumbs up. You okay with checking those ones? True, false? Okay, good. Okay, this one. Be really careful. There's just like one teeny tiny trick in it. But the setup's there for you. Be careful. Try it on your own. Okay, how you doing? Guys, nice and loud. What'd you put for ST? Yes, good work. What'd you put for TV? Alright, be careful. What'd you put for WX? 12! It's totally 12. And then VW, 9. So right here, they tell you that this piece is 9. The whole thing is 21, so you just gotta think 9 plus what is 21? 12. How many of you caught that teeny tiny trick? Did you catch that? Alright. 8 times 12 divided by 9. What is it, guys? Tell your neighbor first. What'd you get? Alright, tell me, what'd you get? 10.6. How many of you got 10.6? Yes. Okay, next one. It's just one sentence. You just need to know the formula. Try it. Okay. Geometric mean, I just remember x has to be in the bottom and in the top. Numerator, denominator. Other numbers, doesn't really matter whether I put them in numerator, denominator. So x squared, oh, did anybody write this one down? 54 times 192. Calvin, what'd you get? 103,068 like this? Oh, you're good. Okay. How many agree with Calvin? Did you get that far? Okay, so we square root it. Can I get a hand in there? Help me out. I bet this is not a perfect square. What did you get on this one? Caitlin, what'd you get?
I got 101.8.
101.8. How many? Same thing. We got the same thing. Yes. Okay, one more question. It's a picture question. So popular. I don't know if you guys use Photoshop yet, but Photoshop is all about tweaking pictures, right? Cropping them or distorting them or changing color. From a bigger one, we're distorting it, or cropping it, making it smaller. It's all about the setup. So, if we use 10 from this side, what are you going to use from the other picture? Yeah, 5.5. Bottom to bottom is going to equal side to side. So we can do 8 over x. Okay, go for it. Solve it. Grab your calculators. Apply. So we've got 8 times 5.5 divided by 10. Got 4.4. Somebody agree with me? Same thing. All right, and let's just put 4.4 inches for a perfect answer.